is going to be my my video about the results of the Warlord GT, my second one. I did one earlier, but informations have updated more because there was a little bit of a controversial thing that happened, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. Show you the results. So let's go to the results. If you want to hear about the controversial thing, that will be at the end of the video. Results first. And this is it. So the winner of the Warlord GT is Richard Churesco. Not a surprise there. He brought a really nice list. And I'll, of course, go over many of these top lists. Johnny Curran came second, and then Charlie Murphy and William Shipman. Both Charlie Murphy and William Shipman was maybe not on my list of people who I thought would win, but a lot of the top players actually beat each other down a little bit. You can see Phil Crowcroft and Chuck Him Kong, and then Matt McVeigh and Michael Garrick. Michael Garrick was in the lead up going into the final round. Along with Russell Wright, Gary Morgan and Ben Andrews also down there, Ray Lowe. I think the best placed foreign player was Wolfgang. He's an Austrian player. He came in 15. Phil Brewer, who was on this channel, came 18 as well. So yeah, that is the standing from the Warlord games, and you can see this is the top half. So there were 84 players, so really well done on the people who came in the top 8, winning an 84-man tournament. That is amazingly well done, and we will dig more into that. So that was the results. Now let's talk a little bit about what else happened. So in the final game, one player had brought an army that was all forward deployment, or had like 12 units that could forward deploy, and he used a tactic that some players consider cheating. It is by the rules, by the way. You can do this, but some places it's seen as unsportsmanlike. He blocked off his opponent from entering via reserve and first wave. He says that he did so with the consent of the opponent, like he had told his opponent. However, the opponent really didn't get to play, right? There was an obvious fix. The opponent could have put a lot of guys in outflank. He did not, which lost him the game. So that was a little bit of a controversial game. It was over in one turn, and they submitted a scorecard of 18-0. Now, the TO, for me, there are a couple of separate issues. One, that the player did this, and that some people see this as cheating. It is not. It is by the rules. It's a completely play by the rules as written. So that is one thing. Then when you sit there as the TO and you have this happen, this will completely skew, because this was one of the top tables, this will completely skew the results, right? Because one player suddenly has 18-0, a victory of 18-0. No one is going to get that. So that player will obviously win the tournament if you allow that result to stand. But his opponent never got to use any of his order dice. So that for me as well speak to us as TOs that maybe we should start thinking about what happens if one player concedes the game, says, I cannot win this, there's no reason to fight. What do you do then? Do you give him all the possible kill dice, or what? What happens at that point? Because this was obviously the opponent here conceded the game. I can't win this, I cannot do anything, I will concede. So that is one thing that I think TOs should think about. If you give all of those points to the winner, then that will skew the results, because the game wasn't really played when you concede a game, right? I've had games conceded against me in turn 2, by the way. Quickest tournament game I've had 2 tournament games that were really quick. I had one that lasted 10 minutes, and I had one that lasted half an hour. So it does happen sometimes. An opponent will just say, "There's no way I can win this now. I lost. I concede the game." And then, of course, you redo. You have plenty of time. You play another game, which is, I guess, what these 2 players actually did. So the TO at the event chose to discount the kill dice and say it was a 0-0 victory to the forward deploying player. Which I think is, in many respects, a fair decision. I would want there for everyone else to be a consideration in your packs beforehand. What will you do if something like this happens? Because it does crop up sometimes that players will concede. How many points do you give them for conceding, right? How many points do you give the winner in such a game? I want you guys to think about that in your packs. And possibly when I get to upgrading my Commander's Compendium, that will be in there as well. The other thing that I think you should think about is, where do we allow infiltration? Now, as the rules are right now, you can build huge armies that can infiltrate most of the army, which you can do really nasty first turn alpha strike things with that. I've had that done against me, right? Where as soon as I deployed, I have enemies just rushing my back lines because they're forward deployed so many units. And in the Commander's Compendium, at least, we solve this problem by disallowing enemy infiltration within 12 inches of the deployment zone edges. So you have to deploy 12 inches away from the edge of the enemy. So you can't really go up and block it. You can't deploy right next to his troops or whatever. That sort of solves a lot of that issue with infiltration. I'm also hearing rumors that most of this infiltration issue will go away in the future. I don't know how or if those rumors are true, but that is the rumors as I'm hearing them. Yeah, lots of things to consider when you're TOing. How do you choose difficult decisions? How do you adjudicate when stuff like this happens, stuff that wasn't in your pack? Right, that's why we have these channels and can share information. Anywho, that was it for me today. I will be back with many exciting reviews of the lists. One of them is a very unusual Japanese list, which I will look at in the coming days. That's it for me today. I'll see you next time. Cheers.